You may write me down in history, you with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I rise. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head low, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air I rise. These are a few lines from the poem I Rise, written by one of America's contemporary and famous poets, Maya Angelou. A very good evening to everyone. It is my privilege to extend a warm welcome to all the dignitaries, the guests, and the special invitees to today's program, where we honor and celebrate women and men in the society. The theme for today's program is Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow, which was also the theme set by the UN this year for International Women's Day. The Montfort Academy, through their outreach program VAYAM, has been working towards helping the community by providing holistic, therapeutic methods of personal growth, counseling services, and helping the community for a better tomorrow. We are honored today to have with us Mrs. Kairu Kavte, who is humbly obliged to be the chief guest for today. We are also honored to have with us Dr. Mary Ann Lobo, Advocate Neha Anil Shirodkar, Mr. Edwin Gomes, Dr. Matala Juliet Gupta, and Mr. Basil Dikuna, who we would be hearing later at the panel discussion. Well, we also have a few other honored men and women. Advocate Lucia Fernandez, Sister Selvi FMM, Mrs. Lakshmi Saraf, Mrs. Maria Pereira, Ms. Richa Govekar, we are waiting for her to arrive, and Mr. Umakant Chaudhry. These are some of the men and women that we would be honoring later this evening. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity, and it brings blessings and happiness. To make this evening a blessed one, let us light the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. I invite our chief guest, Mrs. Kairu Kavte, Brother Prem, and the VAYAM team to kindly come forward and light the lamp.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिः परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापं सन्ध्यादीपनमोऽस्तु ते ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वम्.
Empowered women empower women, and there is no better exemplary personality who would come close to this quote than our very own chief guest. It is an honor to introduce to you the chief guest for the day, Mrs. Kairu Andani Kavte. Mrs. Kairu Andani Kavte from Smart Investments has been in the insurance and finance industry for the last 26 years. A BCom graduate with masters in sociology, she has recently completed her executive MBA in business protection planning. An enterprising businesswoman and a mentor to many, she has covered more than 65 corporates in the last 1 year. She has qualified for MDRT, COT, and TOT. With the determination to learn and continuously excel, she completed her third module of risk mitigation and legacy planning in Mumbai this month. She is a member of the esteemed Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the BNI. She is also associated with Hamara School and NGO and a dog shelter. I request ma'am to kindly come up on stage and say a few words.
Good to see so many known faces. I'll start by saying thank you for having me here. Being a Sunday, this was the best day that I could say yes, because generally I do get called for many forums, but being a working woman, and especially in the month of March, which is our year ending, an extremely busy month, I have declined all invitations, but because this was a Sunday and Umakant Bhai is very close to my heart, so I had to say yes. So thank you for the opportunity. Okay, so let's start by wishing each other good afternoon. No, it's not a good afternoon. We'll do it once again. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
One and last time, okay? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so we are all awake. I was told to speak that what are the opportunities that women have, especially these young girls who have come with their mothers. आणि मातशें मातशें कोंकणी उलय मॅडम बरें पडटलें सगल्यांक कळटलें सो चलतलें कोंकणी इंग्लीश या or should I stick to English? आन्सर खंयचे भाशेन उलोवं सांग कोंकणी हां बोथ ओके भाशा फक्त एक आमचें कितें तकलेन आसा तें सांगपाचो एक इट्स अ कम्युनिकेशन नो बट ॲक्च्युली तुमी सगळ्यांनी हांगा ह्या रुमान इतली एनर्जी हाडल्या की तुमी सगळे एक प्लॅटफॉर्माचेर आसा हाजी हे पुरावो दिता की तुमी सगळे हांगा 3:30 वरां दनपारचे न्हिदपाचो टायम न्ही हां एक दीस आयतारा मेळटा मातशें बरी शीत कडी जेवन न्हिदपाचो तुमी सगळीं हांगा इतली बरी रेडी जावन आयल्या सो दॅट मिन्स यू आर ऑल व्हेरी तुमी सगळीं एकूच हाजेर आसा यू ऑल हॅव द सेम गोल्स I had thought of many things, but I'll share only one point because म्हाका एक 10 मिनटां दिल्या उलोवपाक एकूच हांव सांगतालें आतां ही सगळीं यंग चलयो बसल्या तांची आवय आसा आमी सगळीं बायलां येस ऑर नो ओके आमी बायलां म्हणून जन्म घेतला हें आमच्या हातान आशिल्लें आं देवान सकयल धाडचे पयलीं सांगलां तुका चॉयस दिता तुका चलो जावपाक जाय चली जावपाक जाय अशें विचारिल्लें देवान आमकां ना चल्याक विचारिल्लें ना सो आमकां जें बेस्ट आसा तें देवान आमकां धाडलां सकयल हां गर्ल बॉय ओके सो इट्स नॉट इन आवर हँड्स फायन धाडचे पयलीं देवान अशें एग्रीमेंट केल्लें की तुजी लायफ बेस्ट जातली आं कांयच प्रॉब्लम येवचें ना तूं चल मस्त टकाटक आं अशें सांगिल्लें कोणाक एग्रीमेंट करून दिला देवान तुका दिला ना म्हाका दिवना कोणाक दिला अशें एग्रीमेंट ना सो लायफ वयर सकल ECG भाशेन वयर वयता सकल वयता स्टॉक मार्केट वयर वयता सकल वयता म्हणून संवसार चलता येस ऑर नो आय डील म्हज्या वेवसायान आय डील विथ अ लॉट ऑफ डेथ्स like yesterday 2 of my customers died one died of COVID one died of cancer so when I go for these funerals I deal with lot of these deaths no then I think spiritually but one thing that makes me clear is this will also pass whatever your problems you're going through day every day tell yourself this will also pass म्हणजे हेय वतले when you're happiest also tell yourself this will also pass कभी खुशी कभी गम okay so the first mantra for the day is you have to tell yourself whatever your situation is this will also pass everybody repeat after me this will also pass कोंकणी म्हणत वो how would you say वो काळ वतलो okay say once again वो काळ वतलो म्हणजे जर हांव दुख्खान आसा जाल्यार तोय काळ वतलो आनी जर हांव व्हेरी हॅप्पी आसा जाल्यार तोय काळ वतलो. दूख रावचें ना तर खुशी रावची ना. ओके, दूख मागीर खुशी, खुशी मागीर दूख, जस्ट लायक सनरायज एंड सनसेट. ओके, आनी जेन्ना सामकें भयंकर रात्री आसता न्ही तेन्ना एक खरें आसता की दुसरे दीस सकाळ जातलीच. ओके, प्रॉब्लम्स कम प्रॉब्लम्स गो. आमी देवा कडेन कितें मागता, म्हाका घट्ट कर, म्हाका प्रॉब्लम दिनाका. देवाक उलटें सांगपाचें, म्हाका घट्ट कर, जितले प्रॉब्लम्स येता तांचो हांव सामना करपाक स्ट्रॉंग जावपाक जाय. ओके, सो द सेकंड मॅसेज दॅट आय वॉन्ट टू गिव यू ऑल इज बी इंडिपेंडंट. as a woman, as a mother, as a sister, as a wife, however rich your father may be, however well-to-do your husband may be, however successful your children may be, and they'll say, "Puro ge ai, tu खूप केले, आता retire जा." नाका, गरज ना. Because the day you retire, you become mentally vegetable. Have you all seen people above 60? If they just retire and they sit at home, they become vegetables. Why? Because they're not using their brain. But you see a retired woman, if she's still active in the kitchen, she's teaching some children, she's doing some social work, she's looking after her grandchildren, she's doing something where she's contributing for the helpfulness and the growth of the family, that lady is active. She's very mentally alert. पण जर तुका कोणे एक कोनशान बसयलें जाल्यार तूं जालें वेजिटेबल. तुजी भाजी करपाक जावची ना आनी थंय तूं कुसून वतलें. सारकें काय ना? भाजी अशी खाता न्ही वेजिटेबल, पण जेन्ना मेंदू वेजिटेबल जाता, युसलेस. सो माय वन एंड ओनली मेसेज टू ऑल ऑफ द मदर्स आर, जेन्ना तुमची चली तुमकां म्हणटा म्हाका हें करपाक जाय, आय वॉन्ट टू डू दीस, आय वॉन्ट टू डू दॅट, केन्ना तिका फाटीं ओडनाका. आगो तूं चली, तुका जावचें ना. तिका सांग तूं करूं शकता. येस ऑर नो? मदर्स, हाऊ मेनी मदर्स इन द रूम? पुट युअर हँड्स अप. वाव, सो वी आर ऑलमोस्ट 20-30% इन द रूम. तुमकां खबर आसा वर्ल्डान कितली बायलां आसा विस मेन? हाऊ मेनी मेन आर देर विस विमेन? एक अदमास आसा. यू ऑल नो द पॉप्युलेशन, द वर्ल्ड पॉप्युलेशन, मेन एंड विमेन? You all know? No? Okay, you all know the population of men and women in India? In Goa? Okay, everywhere it is only one. It is 50%. Men are 50%, women are 50%. But anywhere you go, any office, do you see 50% women? You see more men. Yes? Why? Because many years ago, आवयन सांगिल्लें, आगो तें नाका तुका, बस तूं उगी. तुका तें जावचें ना, तूं बस उगी. तुका कित्याक शिकपाक जाय, कित्याक करपाक जाय, फाल्यां तुजें लग्न जातलें. So this was the attitude. But today also, so many mothers pull down their girls. रातचे घरा यो नाका लेट, शेजारी कितें म्हणटली, कॉल सेंटरान काम करनाका, लोक कितें समजतले, तूं रातभर खंय आसता. टुडे ऑल्सो मदर्स आर ऑब्जेक्टींग, नो? सो एकूच म्हाका आवयक, सगळ्या आवयक विनती, जे तुमकां चलयेक करपाक जाय न्ही तें करपाक दियात. तिका आधार जायात. तिजी पानां पाखरां कापनाका. तिका जें करपाक जाय तिका सांग, चल आमी हाजो सोल्युशन काडुया. तुका हें करपाक जाय न्ही, चल आमी एक टिचर कडेन या, लेट मी टॉक टू युअर प्रिंसिपल, आमी एक मेंटर सोदुया. तुका हें करपाक जाय न्ही आनी खंयच्या बायलेन केलां, चल आमी तिजे कडेन वचुया, तिणें कशें केलें तिजे कडल्यान शिकुया. कित्याक आमकां न्ही पयलीं खूब कमी जागो आशिल्लो सोसायटीन, तर आमी बायलां कितें करतालीं, झगडी करतालीं. हें तूं असलें, तूं तसलें, तूं तसलें, हांव बेस्ट. आतां तो काळ ना. आतां झगडी करपाचो, कॉम्पिटिशनाचो काळ ना. आतां कोलॅबरेशनाचो काळ. वॉट इज अ वर्ड फॉर कोलॅबरेशन इन कोंकणी? एकवट. एकवट म्हणजे तिजी स्ट्रेंथ्स, म्हजी स्ट्रेंथ्स मेळून जर आमी काम केलें जाल्यार आमी विन, आमी जिखता. कित्याक प्रत्येक परफेक्ट नसता. म्हजे मायनस आसा आनी कोणाचें मायनस आसा, मायनस उलोवपाचें ना. जें म्हाका येता तें घालपाचें बास्केटान, सगळ्यांचे बास्केट, जे सगळ्यांचे स्ट्रेंथ्स आसा ते घेवन फुडें सरपाचो. गूड आयडिया, बॅड आयडिया? हां, गूड आयडिया न्हू? म्हणजे तुमी सगळीं जागी आसा. सगळ्यांनी जवाब दिले. ओके, सगळीं जाणां जागी आसा, बरें दिसलें. ओके, सो पयलीं तर फायनान्शियल इंडिपेंडंट. ओके, आतां कळ्ळें फायनान्शियल इंडिपेंडंट चलीक जावपाक जाय, आवय आदार दितली न्ही. ओके, ऑल मदर्स प्रॉमिस मदर्स प्रॉमिस घेयात सगळी मदर्स पुट युअर हँड्स अप ओके सो आतां तूं विचारतालें की हांकां फायनान्शियली एकदां इंडिपेंडंट केली जाल्यार ही कितें करतली कितें फायदो लग्न जातलें फाल्यां बरें लग्न जातलें नो प्रॉब्लम लग्न जातलें इट इज अ गुड न्यूज ते आनी कोणाच्या घरान वतले बरोबर आनी कोणाच्या घरान गेले त्या घरान डिसिजन्स जाता न्ही पयली डिसिजन कितें आमकां खंय रावपाक जाय आतां आमचें भाड्याचें घर आसा आमी खंयच्या लोकॅलिटीन घर घेवया हो एक डिसिजन आसता न्ही हां मम्मी डॅडी हांगा ताजी हांगा आमी खंय तरी मदीं घेवया दोगांयकूय आमी पळोवपाक जाता बिकॉज आवय बापूय आमची रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी न्ही आमी सोडून वचपाक जायना सो एक तर फॅमिली खंय सेटल जाता जर चली शिकिल्ली आसा तुमची जाल्यार विथ युअर हजबंड शी कॅन टेक दॅट डिसिजन वेर टू बाय अ हावस how much the budget of the house should be because she's also earning she can pay the EMI husband can pay little EMI they can run the house second important decision is once the children comes which school to the child go to you want to send them to a convent school you want to send them to an international school all this requires money Mr. Green without money you can do anything there are some people who say no I am very simple म्हाका चड पयशे नाका पूण जाय न्ही थोडे तरी पयशे जाय काय नाका तूं 10 रुपयाचे समोसा खा काय 2 रुपयाचे च्या पी पूण पयशे जाय न्हू कितले आपल्या बजेटान रावपाक सुद्दां पयशे जाय सो पयशे जर आसल्यार न्ही ती बायल आपल्या घोवाक सांगूं शकता ना आमी आमच्या भुरग्यांक इंग्लीश मिडियमान घालुया आमी आमच्या भुरग्यांक हे बरें शिकता हिका दोतोर जावपाक जाय काय वो बरो मॅकॅनीक कसो आसा सगळें टॅलिविजन उगडून परत घालता ताका ऑटोमोबायलान इंट्रस्ट आसा ताका खंय तरी बरें ताजे आवडटे वेवसायान घालुया तूं डिसिजन घेवं शकता केन्ना जेन्ना तूं जोडटा जर तूं जोडिना जाल्यार पयलींचे तुमकां याद आसा म्हजे पप्पा म्हजे आजो बी कितें म्हणटाली आमची मम्माक शुत उगी बस गो तुका काय कळना तें तुका कळना बस 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 चूप चूप करताली येस ऑर नो सगळ्यांच्या घरात जाला आजा आजी करेक्ट नो युअर आजी इज नेवर टूक डिसिजन्स बिकॉज शी वॉज अ हाऊस वायफ शी कुक्ड शी लुक्ड आफ्टर द चिल्ड्रन टुडे टायम्स हॅव चेंज्ड सो वेन टू पीपल अर्न दे आर इक्वल he is not higher than her she is not higher than him so when you are equal no when you stand on an equal ground you can take good decisions okay what are the other decisions that you can take when you earn together okay so when you are financially independent you will drive you will buy a bike you will buy a car you are independent you will do your own groceries you will not depend on somebody else घरचे सामान भुरग्यांचे स्कूल हाडप व्हरप ऑल दीस कम्स फ्रॉम वेर फायनान्शियल इंडिपेंडन्स आय ऑल विथ मी ओके another very important thing that I see in my profession and I feel very very bad women mostly even if they are financially independent they don't want to understand and deal with money how many of you don't want to deal with money as in इन्वेस्टमेंट्स कितल्याची इन्शॉरन्स पॉलिसी आसपाक जाय कितले हांवें म्युच्युअल फंडान सेव करपाक जाय हांव 60 मागीर कशें जगतलें आनी 20-30 वर्सां म्हजें कितें जातलें 60 पर्यंत तर आमी जगता न्ही आमी जोडटा मोडटा बरें जगता पॉश 60 मागीर कितें जीव दितली गडफास करतली ना जगतली न्ही 2दा च्या पितली एकदां शीत कडी जेवतली काय ना मागीर तो काळ कसो काडचो आमी त्याची प्लॅनिंग आज करची कितली बायलां म्हजे कडेन येता ना ना तें न्ही म्हाका कळना गो तें म्हजो घोव पळयता बरें म्हणजे तुवें तें तुज्या घोवाच्या हड्ड्यार धरलें आतां ताजे समजदारी प्रमाणे तो करतलो नाल्यार तुमी दोगांय भोगतलीं वेन यू आर 60 येस ऑर नो सो दिस इज वॉट अ फायनान्शियली इंडिपेंडंट विमेन कॅन कॉन्ट्रिब्यूट इन देयर चाइल्ड्स लायफ इन द फॅमिली लायफ in the social life and the economy of the country of the state everything goes up when you are financially independent are you all with me okay another statistics that I found out when I was just reading what should I share this morning that they say that most of the women are told to find professions which suit their gender mostly most of the women are told all over the world, even in America, everywhere, they are told that you do what suits your gender. Do we tell that to our daughters today? अगो तू बावलीन खेळ नाका, तू गाडयेन खेळ नाका, तू बावलीन खेळ. आज सुद्दां आमी आमचे चलयेक सांगता नाका नाका इंजिनियरींग नाका, ते सगळे चले आसता. सिवील इंजिनियरींग तुका कित्याक जाय, तूं सायटीर उबें रावतलें, तूं काळें जातलें. आज सुद्दां आमचे सगळे आवयच्या काळजान एक बायस आसा. तो बायस खंयच्यान आयला? आमचे आवयन ते आमच्या हड्ड्यार घातला. हे ते काळे, हे ते गोरे, हे ते शॉर्ट, हे ते लांब. म्हणजे आमचे तकलीन न्ही दी आयडिया ऑफ अ वुमन एंड दी आयडिया ऑफ अ ब्युटिफूल वुमन इज व्हेरी डिफरंट. आमकां हें जाणून घेवपाक जाय की प्रत्येक वुमन इज डिझायन्ड एंड स्पेशली अ युनीक क्रिएशन ऑफ गॉड. येस ऑर नो? तुका देवसारान केला, म्हाका देवान केला? ना, आमकां सगळ्यांक देवान केला. देवाचो एक क्षण आमच्या हातान आसा, हार्टान. येस, वी कॉल इट अ सोल. जर आमकां सगळ्यांक जर देवान केला जाल्यार तूं कित्याक चड ब्युटिफूल आनी हांव कित्याक कमी ब्युटिफूल? प्रत्येक जाणा ब्युटिफूल. फक्त पळोवपाचे दोळे जाय. कोणाचे दोळे ब्युटिफूल आसताले, कोणाची स्कीन बरी आसतली, कोणाची हायट बरी आसतली, कोणाचे उलोवपाची स्टायल बरी आसतली, कोणाचे आवाज बरो आसतलो, कोणाचे आनी कितें गूण आसतले, गिटार वाजूंक शकता. सो एवरी वुमन इज ब्युटिफूल. आमी कितें करता, सकाळीं मिररान उबी रावता आनी आमची खोडयो काडटा. कशें जालें म्हजे केस, पळय हांव हड्डे जाता आतां, तकली आतां जाली 45, आतां तो केस वयता, आतां हड्डे जातलें हांव थोड्या तेंपान. So what you give every morning, the self-talk that you give yourself in front of the mirror is very, very important. So from today, all the women in the room, put your hands up this way. Okay? Every morning you all will do it, huh? And remember me when you do it. Wait, I'm not finished. Come on. One hand up, right hand up. Right hand up, okay? Only the women, huh? Only the women. I'm very gender biased. Only the women. You put your hand up and you say, I am the most beautiful woman. I am the most beautiful woman in the world. Say it. And you pat your back. Okay? Now give yourselves a big applause. Good exercise for a Sunday afternoon. So everybody is 100% awake now. I think my time is up. I'll finish with just two points that I wanted to cover. One is generally what we say, no, that I want to be like her. We always have that, no? I want to be like her, I want to be like her. It's good to have role models. But when you're judging yourself, no, at the end of the day, today what did I achieve throughout the day? When you're sitting with your own report card in your meditation for 10 minutes before you actually go to sleep, that time compete with yourself. On a one-to-one basis, compete with yourself. Okay, yesterday I was a 10th pass. Today I'm a 12th pass. Yesterday I didn't know how to make chapatis. Today I make better chapatis. Today my chapatis turned rounder. Yesterday I didn't know to do this. Today I know to do that. Yesterday I closed one policy. Today I closed 2 policies. Whatever. I'm just giving example. So always compare yourself to yourself. What you were yesterday. And every day morning when you say I'm the most beautiful woman in the world and you pat yourself, you make your day the best day of your life. Say today is going to be my best day. You don't need any heroes. You be your own hero. You be your own sunshine. Why? Because you have the glow of God in you. You are the most unique creation of God. If you self-counsel, self-brainwash yourself, whatever you seek out to achieve, you will be successful. Whatever it may be. You may be a caterer, you may be a mother, you may be just a homemaker, a cook, you may be a housemaid. You will do your best that day. With these few words, I end my talk. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, ma'am. Your words were truly, truly inspiring, and I'm very sure that most of the young girls here are going to feel empowered and they're going to go back and pat themselves. Okay, moving on. Well, the mind is supposed to be a very, very powerful tool. Okay? And when you have positive thoughts in your mind, you definitely end up changing your life. And to help us understand about this mind and how powerful our mind is, we have a very own team member, Mrs. Vaishnavi Hegde Agranayak, who would be sharing a few tips and ways in which we can manage our mind better. Vaishnavi, could you please come up?
So my name is Vaishnavi Hegde. I'm from Margao. I am a counselor, I'm a yoga teacher, I'm a school teacher. And every once in a while, I stand here on some stage and talk. Thank you so much, Tanya, for the mic and for this opportunity. So basically we came, Tanya said, let's talk something about the mind. Why? Because unless and until we talk about our mind and we are more aware about our mind, why even go out and bother about the rest of the world? You know, it starts inside, isn't it? And it should start inside. Everything. Right from hope, happiness, solution, all of that starts inside. So what is this mind we're talking about? Right now when I stand here and I talk and I tell you my name and what I do, and every sentence that I say, definitely there's something in your head that goes, okay, or yes, or no, or how. Yes, there's definitely something in the head going on. It's definitely not just me talking. फक्त हा उलयना तुमच्या मना भितर आनीक कितें उलयता काय ना. कोण तरी म्हणटा कोण हे चली कळ्ळें न्ही. समथींग एल्स इज सेइंग हा मडगांवच्यान आयला हय काय ना. करेक्ट. समथींग गोज ऑन कंटिन्युअसली एंड दॅट इज द मायंड. So if you're asking me what is the mind, simple, जे तर्क वितर्क, जे तकलेन कंटिन्युअस चलता, विचार चलता, जाच्या भितर आमचे विचार येता, ताका आमी मन म्हणटात. करेक्ट. आनी हें मन दर एकल्याच्या भितरूय आसा. लायक आय हॅव अ मायंड, यू हॅव अ मायंड. एवरी पर्सन हियर सिटींग, खंय तरी तो तर्क वितर्क चलता, जे जे हांव म्हणटा ते तुमच्या तकलेन वता आनी कितें तरी ताचेर विचार जाता. करेक्ट. सो मोर देन मायंड, बिकॉज मायंड कितें तें सगळ्यांक खबर आसा आनी हो मायंड मॅनेज करचो पडटा हें खबर आसा. वॉट डू आय मीन बाय दॅट? जर हांवें तान्या इज अ फ्रेंड ऑफ मायन. ओके. सो हांवें जर तान्याक सांगलें की तान्या तूं खूब सुंदर दिसता, तुजे केस कितले सुंदर आसा, आय लव युअर हेअर. ओके. द सारी दॅट शी, डीड यू नोटीस द सारी शी इज वेअरिंग? डजंट शी लूक व्हेरी प्रिटी? येस. So I tell her, you're so pretty, I love the sari you're wearing. Okay, and I tell her ki, you know, your eyes are so beautiful. तुका काजळाची पसून गरज ना. पूण मगो तुजें नाक आसा पळय, your nose नो, मातशें चड न्ही आं, मातशें वांकडें आसा. चड वांकडें आसा? ना, मातशें वांकडें आसा. तान्याक हांगाच्यान घरा वचप म्हणसर कितें याद उरतलें? नाक वांकडें आसा. खरें ना. करेक्ट. याद कितें उरतलें की वैष्णवीन सगळ्या 4 गोश्टी बऱ्यो म्हणल्यो त्यो याद उरतल्यो? ना, डेफिनेटली ना. बट वन थिंग आय सेड की तुजें नाक मातशें वांकडें आसा, तें ताका घरा वचून 4 दीस याद उरतली, 5व्या दिसा म्हाका फोन करून झगडीय करतले. करेक्ट. बिकॉज दॅट इज हाव आवर मायंड वर्क्स. I tell you 10 good things about you, the tendency to remember the negative one thing is much more. जी एक वाईट गजाल आसा, जी एक नेगेटीव गजाल घडल्या, ती याद उरपाक किंवा ती धरून बसपाक आमच्या मनाक आवडटा. एंड यू विल नोटीस दीस ऑल्सो. 2 पार्ट्स आसतले मनाचे. एक तुमकां सांगतलें सोडून दी, कितें घेवन बसला, जाता? हां. तुमी कितें तरी करता आसता, सपोज यू कुकींग, रांदता किंवा कितें तरी काम करता, कितें तरी बरयता. हां. तुमी बरयल्लो रिपोर्ट किंवा कितें काडून तुमी यू गिव इट टू युअर हजबंड ऑर टू समबडी टू रीड. किंवा रांदता आसतना बरें कितें तरी जाल्लें आसता, मदींच नणन येता, येना कोणाच्या घरान, माय येता. एंड देन वन थिंग दॅट इज सेड टू यू, वेदर एट वर्क ऑर इन पर्सनल लायफ, जस्ट टेक्स द एंटायर डे अवे. हॅपन्स नो. सो दीस इज वाय मायंड मॅनेजमेंट इज इम्पॉर्टंट. मन कित्याक लागून मॅनेज करचें? कित्याक मनाचो नेचर कितें नेगेटीव जी गजाल आसा, नकारात्मक जी गजाल आसा, ताका घट्ट धरून बसतलें. दॅट इज जस्ट हाव इट वर्क्स. सो मायंड मॅनेजमेंट म्हणजे मनाक परत 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 घडीत घालप, परत परत समजावप की ना, बाकीच्यो गजाली आसा ज्यो खूब इम्पॉर्टंट आसा आनी ह्या एका नॅगेटीव गजालीक धरून बसले जाल्यार फुडें कांयच करपाक पावचें ना, फुडें खंयच वचपाक पावचें ना, प्रोग्रेस जावचो ना. सो वाय इज मायंड मॅनेजमेंट इम्पॉर्टंट? बिकॉज विदाउट मायंड मॅनेजमेंट देर इज नो प्रोग्रेस. आमची उदरगत एक मनीस म्हणून किंवा एक सामाजीक व्यक्ती म्हणून जावचीच ना. वी कॅनॉट प्रोग्रेस विदाउट मॅनेजींग आवर मायंड. करेक्ट? नाव कशें मायंड मॅनेज करप? हाव डू वी मॅनेज आवर मायंड? बेस्ट वे, एज आवर चीफ गेस्ट सेड, डेफिनेटली सेल्फ टॉक. आनी तुमचें मन हें खूब फावटी करताय बी तुमच्या बरोबर. केन्ना केन्ना कोण तरी कितें तरी म्हणून वता आनी तुका खबर आसता की ताज्या मनान नाशिल्लें हें म्हणपाचें आसता न्ही. यू ऑल्सो नो की पूण तें लागता आनी देन यू टेल युअर मायंड की ना ना तशें न्ही, तें अशें. आनी मागीर परत ते 4 दिसांनी तकलेन येता, परत तूं यू टेल युअर सेल्फ ना तशें न्ही, तें अशें. ओके, सेल्फ टॉक. अनदर इज पॉझिटिव्ह कन्वर्सेशन विथ युअर सेल्फ, wherein you tell yourself ki na, you know, like how it was just said that I am the most beautiful person or I am the most capable person, की म्हजे कडेन हें जावपाक शकता, हांव म्हजे कडेन हें घडूंक शकता, हांव हें करूंक शकता. थर्ड, जें आमी डे टू डे लायफान करपाक शकता, जें सामकें आमच्या हातान आसा, इज समथींग लायक अ प्राणायाम किंवा मेडिटेशन. ओके, जेन्ना आमी मेडिटेट करतात आमी स्वता बरोबर असतात. वेन वी आर मेडिटेटींग वी आर विथ आवर सेल्व्स. आनी खूब सोल्युशन्सूय मेळटा तातूंत. कित्याक तूं बसता, यू हॅव एनीबडी कोणें मेडिटेशन केलां, कोणें ध्यान केलां आज म्हणसर हांगा? कॅन यू रेज युअर हँड्स दोज हू हॅव मेडिटेटेड एटलीस्ट वन्स इन युअर लायफ? वन्स. कॅन यू वाउच दॅट इट इज डिफरंट? इट फील्स नायस? येस. कोणें करुना ट्राय करुया आज? 2 मिनटां? हय? हय काय ना? येस. ओके ओके. सो सिंपल, आय विल गिव इन्स्ट्रक्शन्स, यू विल फॉलो दॅम. हां, ताज्या पयलीं एक प्राणायाम करया. आय हॅव 5 minutes. येस. ओके. यू कॅन सिट एज यू आर सिटींग अँड दीस इज समथींग यू कॅन डू एट होम. हां, घरा वचून स्वता हाज्या आयच्यान फुडें केल्यार जाता. ओके. तुमचो लेफ्ट हात असो, खूब जाणांनी केलाय आसतलो, म्हाका तुमचो लेफ्ट हात दाखयात. दावो. सुंदर असा म्हणटात ते. ओके, प्लेस इट ऑन युअर लेफ्ट लेग. युअर रायट हँड दाखयात म्हाका. बेंड द थर्ड फिंगर. थर्ड, तिसरे बोट. तुका पळोवनूच म्हणलें हांवें. तिसरें बोट. Now place these 2 fingers in between your eyebrows. दोन्ही आयब्रोजाच्या मदीं. ऑटोमॅटिकली तुमचें जें आंगठो आसा तो तुमच्या रायट नॉस्ट्रिलाचेर येतलो आनी तुमचो जो तिसरें बोट आसा तें लेफ्ट नॉस्ट्रिलाचेर येतलें. आयलें? नाव क्लोज युअर आयज. क्लोज युअर आयज. दोळे बंद करा. दोन्ही नाकपुडयेंतल्यान श्वास घेया. क्लोज द रायट नॉस्ट्रिल. राईट बंद करा, लेफ्टाच्यान सोडा. ब्रीद इन थ्रू द लेफ्ट नॉस्ट्रिलतल्यान श्वास भितर घे, लांब श्वास. क्लोज द लेफ्ट. ब्रीद आउट थ्रू द राईट. राईटाच्यान श्वास सोडा. ब्रीद इन थ्रू द राईट. क्लोज राईट. Breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Long, deep breath. Breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Close right. Breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Close left. Breathe out through the right. Keeping your eyes closed, put both hands down on your thighs. दोळे बंद उरा आनी दोनी हात पांयाचेर दवरा आनी आपल्या श्वासाचेर लक्ष दवरात. कीप युअर अटेन्शन ऑन युअर ब्रेथ. ऑब्जर्व द ब्रेथ गोइंग इन and out. लांब श्वास भितर आनी भायर. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Slowly become aware of your surroundings. भोवतीच्या वातावरणाचेर लक्ष व्हरात. स्वताच्या शरीराचेर लक्ष व्हरात. Take your attention to your body. And very gently, whenever you feel like, हळू तुमकां जेन्ना दिसता तेन्ना दोळे उगडल्यार जाता. You may gently open your eyes. Good morning. Good? Yes? So this is what you can do. हांगा मातशें शॉर्ट केलें बिकॉज टायम कन्स्ट्रेंट, बट this is definitely what you can do. हे घरा करपाक जाता. हां, एक 10-15 श्वास हात धरून आनी मागीर हात सकयल दवरून यू टेक अ फ्यू ब्रेथ्स, रिलॅक्स अबाउट 5-10 minutes. हां, and then get up, do your work. And the fourth thing that I feel, is excellent for mind management is counseling. I am a counselor. I am a yoga instructor and a counselor, and I've been practicing since 2013, yes. And since then it is beautiful. म्हणजे कितें जाता जाणा, जेन्ना आमी येतात कावन्सिलरा कडेन उलयतात तेन्ना 2-3 गोश्टी जाता. अशें न्ही की तो कावन्सिलर बसून कितें सोल्युशन दिता. वी आर केपेबल ह्युमन बिईंग्स. जाचे कडेन खंयचो प्रॉब्लम आसता पळय ताजे कडेन डेफिनेटली ताजें सोल्युशनूय आसता, डेफिनेटली आसता. पूण जेन्ना मायंड ब्लॉक जाता, जेन्ना खुबश्यो थॉट्स येता किंवा खुबशे इमोशन्स येता, प्रॉब्लेम येता तेन्ना इमोशन येता, करेक्ट? सो जेन्ना ते इमोशन्स येतात तेन्ना तें सोल्युशन क्लियरली पळोवप डिफिकल्ट जाता, किंवा तें सोल्युशन खबर आसतनाय ताचेर काम करप डिफिकल्ट जाता. सो जेन्ना आमी कावन्सिलिंगाक येता, तो कावन्सिलर बसून थंयच्यान कितें व्हडलें ब्रह्मास्त्र सोडना. हां, द कावन्सिलर डजंट गिव यू सोल्युशन्स, बट बिकॉज ऑफ हीज ट्रेनिंग, बिकॉज ऑफ द कावन्सिलर्स ट्रेनिंग, बिकॉज ऑफ हीज अंडरस्टँडिंग, ही इज एबल टू टेक यू टू अ लेवल वेर यू कॅन कम अप विथ युअर सोल्युशन्स. आणि नॉट जस्ट फॉर वन प्रॉब्लम, बट कंटिन्युअसली फॉर अदर प्रॉब्लम्स ॲट होम वेन यू गो बॅक. And that is what we as a team of VAYAM are trying to inculcate. अशें म्हणटात की कावन्सिलरा कडेन वता म्हणजे जाला दिसता तकलेन फ्राक. करेक्ट? दॅट इज द जनरल बिलीफ. बट वाय गो टू अ कावन्सिलर? बिकॉज दॅट कावन्सिलर इज ट्रेन्ड फॉर इट. आमी टिचरी कडेन कित्याक वता शिकपाक? आमी अशें म्हणना न्ही आतां अनाडी मरे, 7 वर्साच्या भुरग्यांक अशें म्हणा अनाडी मरे. ना, आमी ताका स्कुलान धाडटात शिकोवपाक. कित्याक धाडटात ताका शिकोवपाक? बिकॉज तोय शिकता, ताका ती नॉलेज आसता, ताका तें अंडरस्टँडींग आसता भुरग्याक, पूण शिकोवपी कोण तरी जाय आसता न्ही. तशेंच मनशाक जाका त्रास जाता, ताका प्रॉब्लम आसता, ताका तें अंडरस्टँडींग आसता, पूण ताजें इमोशन कुशीक काडून त्या प्रॉब्लेमा कडेन फेस करपाक, त्या प्रॉब्लेमाक पळोवपाक जें ट्रेनींग कावन्सिलरा कडेन आसता ताजी त्या वेळाचेर गरज आसता. That is necessary at that point of time. And that is what we are trying to give at Montfort Academy. आमी हांगा counseling cell open केला. Brother Prem is in charge of it. And we've started a counseling cell. So जेन्ना तुमकां केन्नाय दिसलें की गरज आसा एक स्पिरिच्युअल अवेकनिंगाची किंवा कावन्सिलिंगाची किंवा योगाची, Please come to Montfort Academy. We welcome you with open arms. आम्ही तुमच्या खातीर सदांच आसा. तुमकां कितें अडचण असली कितें असलें definitely come to us. Saying so, I stop my 2 words for the day. Thank you so much. तुम्ही बरें करून आयकलें म्हणून खूब बरें दिसलें. Thanks a lot.
Well, Vaishnavi Bai, Dev Bare Karu. Since the trend was to speak a little bit in Konkani, and I'm still trying to get there. But okay, so as we move ahead into the next part of the program, and it is also one of the most awaited parts, we move ahead to the panel discussion, and I would request my team member, Ms. Janessa De Mello, to kindly lead us into the panel discussion.
Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. It is my honor to introduce to you the panelists for the day. Our moderator for the panel discussion is Mr. Basil Dicuna. Mr. Basil Dicuna is currently working as a career counselor with Lights of the World Jesuits and a part-time TV anchor at CCR TV Panaji. He has his master's in personnel management from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. His career spans over 3 decades in HR, where he worked with corporates in Goa, Mumbai, and Dubai. His last assignment was with Emirates Airlines as a HR manager. Mr. Basil is a philanthropist and renders selfless services to the society. I next call upon Dr. Matala Juliet Gupta to come up and take her seat. Dr. Matala Juliet Gupta is a senior scientist at ICAR CCARI, Old Goa. She received her PhD in agricultural processing and structures from Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi. Her research interests are greenhouse engineering, process engineering, modeling and simulation, and food safety. She is a member of numerous professional societies. She has contributed in research by publishing many research articles at national and international levels. Throughout her career, Dr. Gupta has received many awards and honors. Moving on, I would now like to request Dr. Marianne Lobo to come up and take her seat among the panelists. Dr. Marianne Lobo is a holistic health expert with 18 years experience. She specializes in Panchakarma. Her practice has found great success in the treatment of PCOS and diabetes reversal, lifestyle disorders, etc. She organizes events where she educates and promotes the use of wild and exotic edibles. She has been featured on online platforms and panel discussions on the use of medicinal plants, biodiversity, preservation, conservation, and sustainability. She is also invited to identify and map trees. Besides, she is a proud owner of an heirloom seed bank and runs a community wellness initiative called Women, You Are Worth It. I next request Advocate Neha Anil Shirodkar to please come forward and take her seat. Advocate Neha Anil Shirodkar completed her law from VAYAM Salgaonkar College of Law and pursued her master's in intellectual property rights from Gujarat National Law University, Gandhinagar, Gujarat. She is appointed as amicus curiae to assist the court in matters. She has also worked with NGO, Human Rights Law Network, and has a short stint as a guest lecturer for Masters of Law at VAYAM Salgaonkar Law College. Going with the theme, Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow, how could we not have a man on the panel? So next I call Mr. Edwin Gomes to come forward and take his seat. Mr. Edwin Gomes is a self made man who started his business from a very young age. He sacrificed his higher education for keeping up the family business after his father's demise. Hence, from then, he never turned back and he has given his heart and soul for his business. And he made sure that the reputation and the legacy of the business is carried out very efficiently and progressively over the years. He goes out of his way to support people who are in need of his help. He is a true family and spiritual man who devotes equal time to nurture his family and his faith. He also acquired the knowledge and experience in his business over the years, and he is one of the rare businessmen who keeps ethics and morals in all his dealings. Many people vouch for his uprightness and statesmanship. I welcome you all, and I now ask the moderator to take the charge.
First and foremost, let me convey my thanks to Brother Prem for giving me this opportunity to be with you. I was very impressed with our chief guest talks, as also of our counselor. Very good indeed. Thank you. Now, as you can see on the board, it says gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. Does it look like that to you? But anyway, since we have more women today on the panel, I will request the gent to start first, because then let the ladies say. But what we're going to do now is something like this, so that we are all clear. Mr. Edwin will talk for about 5 to 7 minutes max. I will do that after 5 minutes, and tat again after 7 minutes. You know, the reason I do this is because we'll be here till midnight otherwise. Okay? So a little knock at 5. I'll keep my watch very handy. And at 7, please. Okay? That applies to you, my dear, and to you. Okay. All right. So since Mr. Edwin is going to start, and you already know about his background, he's a businessman, etc., etc., I will now hand over the mic to Mr. Edwin, followed by our kind lady on my right, that is Dr. Marianne, and then, of course, on my left. All right? Thank you.
I just don't know what to talk about now. If you tell me about gender equality, then I would only try to encourage all the women to take up business, since I, as a businessman, would prefer to have a lot of women into business, because I find women very lacking behind in going into business. I see most of the men only taking up business, which is not right. Women also have got a lot of qualities in them to go into business. And secondly, I would advise women that I see a lot of women starting business and want to jump into profits immediately, which does not happen in business. When you start up a new business, it is always goes into a bit of loss. It takes a long time to come up, because immediately you don't come into profits. You have to work very hard to go into a profit-making business. And when it is a new business, you always go into a loss. That is what I experienced in my business life. But then never mind, if you go into a loss, you keep on struggling, you struggle, work hard for it. And in the long run, you always land up into good profits. Profits can come doing some through unfair means, which don't last for a long time. The profits that you get sincerely doing sincere business will last for a long time, and it will always give you a good stand in the market. That is all. I think so. I should won't be able to talk much because I don't talk much, but I work more.
Give him a big hand, please. Now I am advising the ladies to take a cue from the gentleman, because ladies, for some reason or the other, have this wonderful tendency. If you give them 5 minutes, they go for 25. So, but we still love to hear them. They are so cute. All right. Anyway, so I will now hand you over to Dr. Mary Ann Lobo. My sheet says she's a holistic health expert. Now, I request all of you listening to this experts here to please make note that you have to ask them questions after they have finished. So, those of you who got good memories, fine. For those of you who don't, please make a note of it so that you can ask the question. Then it becomes a very meaningful gathering so that we all learn from them and we go home doing a better job of ourselves as well as women in general. Because I see today, there are hardly any men here. So that is fantastic, brother. I don't know how you manage that, but it is incredible. Okay. So thank you very much, Brother Prem. I think you have made a wonderful point there that women are, in fact, going to be sustainable for tomorrow. Definitely. There's no doubt in my mind. Oh, Dr. Marianne, over to you. Thank you.
Good evening again to all of you, and I'll try to intersperse between Konkani and English. So my mother told me a few things when I was young. She always said this, like, a woman is like milk. If she gets spoiled, she stinks. And if a man gets spoiled, a man is like a brinjal. It looks so good from the outside, but it's rotten inside. And this is the narrative parents tell their children. That's why I said I will make it a point to speak about this today. Because what I have been doing in my 18 years of practice in clinic, and of course I started Nature Trails and this wellness initiative just recently, I have been doing a thing called changing narratives, which is very important in today's society. Everybody likes a story. Everybody likes to listen to a good story. So here what we do is we're changing the narratives of the story you're being told. Why? Because we women have a tendency to listen to everything that affects us. What we call it, the ear gate. Mentally, I think Vaishnavi spoke on a very important topic. This is just an extension of it because the ear is a gateway to the mind. And whatever we women hear, it tends to hit us very easily. Men are more by sight. Women are more by the ear. It's a very common theme that is observed in women. That आमी कितें आसता बायला, आमकां कोणी कितें म्हणलें तूं सुंदर दिसता, as she said, किंवा तूं इतली सुंदर दिसना, साडी आयज इतली बरी न्हेसूंक ना काय तुवें, कितें केली? So these things tend to remain in our mind very clearly. So we are changing narratives. So what happens is, in the clinic, I get couples coming to me for fertility. And that is a very good point where I start off from, where I tell them whether it is a problem with either of the partner in the marriage. It is something that you all have to overcome jointly. You can't do it singly. I'm already talking about gender equality there itself. Even if you take any step, there is something in Ayurveda we call as Garbha Sanskara, where we teach for couples. And in that, everything the male does, the female has to do. The female does, the male has to do. There's nothing that, hey, bailache kam, te dadleche kam. There's nothing like that. So this way, changing the narratives. Then secondly, what is another thing? Upbringing up of children. I get a lot of children coming to me. Many a times, the mother will get the child and come. I'll ask, where's the father? Oh, he has no time. So, okay, make it an appointment a little later in the date, but at least once a month, bring the father along. Let him be also responsible in the upbringing up of the child. कित्याक आवय बापायचें काम हें भुरग्यांक वयर काडप, आवयचेंच काम एकलें न्ही. आनी एक बरी गोश्ट सांगपाची, म्हजे एक फ्रेंड आसले, ते सद्दां म्हणटाले वेन वी वर स्टडींग इन कॉलेज, ताची आवय ताका शिकयताली कशें रांदपाक, चल्याकय हाड. दोगांयकय वांगडा कशें रांदप ती शिकयताली. तर I think this is a lovely way if we can teach both our sexes of children how to cook, how to keep a home, how to maintain a home. This is beautiful. I would say each one of you as mothers are having the privilege to do changing of narratives that you all have been brought up with. It's so beautiful that you all are honored to have that job. And I will say, I take it, that each one of you will employ it. See that your husbands too lend hands. Tell them, ki baba, he amchets kamni, dogaini he karap. Also, where it coming back again to my clinical experience that I would like to share, I see to it that whether it's a lifestyle disorder or, things like diabetes, PCOS, again, it's not just one person that is involved. So either get the mother, the parents involved, or if it's an unmarried girl, if it's a married woman, can get the husband involved. Because many a time in PCOS, it's stress. And many a times, it's just, you got married recently, 2-3 years, you're not having a child. कितें जालें? भुरगीं कित्याक जायना? हे आमी कितली जाणांनी बायलां आयकलां? It's 10 years I'm married. I had a miscarriage 7 years back. I'm going to tell you, this is my true story. And I keep hearing this. आनी एक कितें आसता? आमकां कोण आपयना मागीर घरा कडेन. But with me, because I have a lovely way of talking, everybody wants me for their programs. Nobody has said, don't come, किंवा भुरग्याचे नामकरण आसता या नाका. They call me. But many a times I have seen this misfortune happen to many. नामकरणाक चड करून जी बायल भुरगें आसा पळय तांकां आपयना. Change these narratives just by being who you are. I didn't do anything different. I could have sat. I went under depression for 2 years because people kept asking me, when are you going to have a child next? When are you going to have a child next? But I didn't let that disturb me. And today, I will say, rising up from that ashes, I have made a program which is called for Community Women's Wellness. It's an initiative where I call it Women, You're Worth It, where you discover who you are and what you are made of. Has anybody heard of this? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. We are tough. We are made from supernatural material. That's why we have wombs. That's why we have wombs. That's why we menstruate. Okay, never forget this. We are special. God had a very special, He smiled when He was creating us. Each one of us. And just be happy about that. Just knowing that. Okay, and then of course, I have something else that I do, where we're trying to create a sustainable tomorrow. I conduct nature trails, and children come on these walks. For us as adults, it's unlearning. But when the kids come, they are learning something new. Now, how many of us go out in nature and have seen a flower? It resembles a female organ. Or you see a fruit, it resembles a male organ. If we only are more open when we explain such biology openly, I'm sure in India, we will not be ranking as a rape capital. There are so many things. Like this, I create unpleasant, as you may call it, dialogues. I love this. I love sparking off dialogues where it will make someone squirm. And this is how I will say, if women can do something, okay, why not men? And the kids today, you must see them. The boys and girls I have come across are both conscious about being respectful of each other. So I think from what I have seen, there is hope. And I know that we are raising a better tomorrow. Thank you for giving me a listening ear.
Very big hand, a very big hand. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lobo. Thank you very much. It's very interesting to hear different viewpoints on the person's experiences. But I would like our two very prominent people here to give us some understanding of how we are going to achieve equality. Because that somehow has not come out very strongly yet. But I know these two are experts. And I'm sure that we all look forward to the day when men treat women on the same level as we are, and women also equally treat men at the same level as themselves. This is very, very important for a sustainable tomorrow. And therefore, I really, really think that our next speaker, Miss Neha Shirodkar, an advocate on intellectual property, mind you. This is a very important subject. So she will give us some ideas of how we are going to achieve this, and I wish you well.
Very good evening to everybody. So I'm a lawyer, and when it comes to the question of gender equality in our profession, the law itself provides equal opportunities or equality in law is something which is already in the Constitution. So when I joined law college, there was a very important thing that our professor told us. Law is to be set into motion, okay? Now if you meet with an accident and you're hurt and you want to file a complaint against the other person, something called law will not come to your aid. You have to go and file a complaint. So now if we look at laws in India, there are so many that are forever giving rights to women. You have Domestic Violence Act, you have Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workplace Act, you have Maternity Benefit Act, you name it, okay? You have a wife is entitled to maintenance under Section 125 CRPC. If your husband isn't giving you maintenance, you can go and claim it. But the point is, you can have all these laws and you can have many more. But unless and until you go and you enforce your right, you will be unable to get the help that law has kept ready for you. So simple few rights of women that we all can keep in mind is you're entitled to equal pay at work. You are entitled for maternity benefit, that is you're entitled for a long leave, all right, which you can avail of before birth or after birth. There has to be a forum of prevention of sexual harassment at workplace. There's a committee in every workplace. If you go and ask, probably they will tell you, where in case you feel you're being harassed at workplace or you're feeling uncomfortable about something, you can go and approach the committee. You are entitled for maintenance. There are laws against dowry. There are laws against domestic violence. But again, if we are not going to go and enforce our right, the law will not come to your rescue by itself. So in the profession, I usually practice in the High Court of Bombay, which has a bench in Goa. There are a lot of women in the administrative workforce. Okay, so you have the registrar is a woman, a lot of administrative staff are women, there are stenographers which are women. But then you look at the judges and you look at the lawyers, they are largely men, right? And there's a very distinct bias that they also keep saying, oh, tumi baila, ami tumi chalyo, tumi 2-3 वर्षाच आसतली practicing, मागीर तुमी लग्न जाता आनी तुमी सगळें सोडटा. So I think that comes across as so biased and so uncalled for. But it is a reality. It is a reality. However, the women in the judiciary are increasing bit by bit. So that's a very a new phenomena that's coming. Even the Supreme Court has a lot of women judges. Not only women judges, there is also a transgender judge who's there, who's appointed, who's working. So if I have to also include gender equality, the law is forever transforming. So we are identifying the third gender also as a gender. We have marriageable age for girls, which is raised to 21, in order to promote more gender equality. so that they are not immediately 10 standards ale, 12 standards ale ki lagn kele. So there is a restraint that is imposed. There are a number of judgments on prevention of sexual harassment at workplace, so that women also, if like our chief guest said today, some professions are male dominated largely, like mechanical engineering and so on and so forth. But that law still gives you a chance. You want to work, you please go and work. And if you are having an issue, you can raise it. I will be very frank here to say, that's very easy for me to say all of these things. But when we actually go and raise a complaint, the kind of bias, forget the bias, your own colleagues will start judging you. Judgmental nature which is very profoundly present in human beings. And I think I really want to say this. I think we as women need to help each other without judging each other to go forth. So somebody chooses, okay, I don't want to get married, that's fine. I don't want to have a kid, that's fine. I want to have 5 children, that's fine too. Okay, if you have a son and tomorrow you're going to get your son married and you're going to have a daughter-in-law, please don't continue with that narrative of, daughter-in-law and, mother-in-law forever fighting. Or if you have a daughter, please, it's a sincere request, let her study, let her get a job, let her be financially independent. It's so wonderful. I enjoy my financial independence. I don't have to run to a man to ask them for money or to say, okay, I need to plan my savings, what do I do, etc., etc. The kind of liberty that will come, you may not earn 50 lakhs in a month, but you may earn like 5,000, but that also will go a long way. So it's very, very important. So if you want to do your master's and then you want to work for 2 years, please work, even if you have a little bit of difficulties. Don't let that financial independence go, because once that is gone, your decision making is also gone. So when I'm coming back to the legal point, law is there. There are a lot of laws that protect women. Our country has women-centric laws. Like there is no law to prevent men from sexual harassment at workplace. There is largely no maternity benefit act giving men paternity leave. But women have all sorts of laws. We only need to take that step, keep our own judgments aside, and go forth to enforce our rights. With that, I will conclude. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Shirodkar. Okay, our last panelist for today is none other than Dr. Mathali Juliet Gupta. She's a senior scientist, and we are talking about not giving an opportunity to women. Look at that. Senior scientist, and that also very close by here. So may I please welcome Dr. Gupta to tell us a few things about this.
I would also like to sit and talk, sir. Maka Konkani na eta. But I can speak a little Hindi. I am an agriculture engineer. I did my PhD. I was born in a village in the remote town close to Rameshwaram. If I tell the name of the village also, you won't know it. From there, I went to get educated because of the choice my mother made, who was just PUC pass, not by her choice. Her father told she cannot study beyond that. But my mother said, till you want to study, study. The sky is the limit. So if every one of us make that choice to educate our daughters, not only educate, to choose a field of our choice. Gender equality, there are 2 things. We are not talking about sex determination or sex differentiation, but we are talking about gender equality. If you take an engineer, how many engineers are women? If you take a judge, like she was saying, how many judges are women? If you take a doctor, probably that's the highest profession in which women ratio will be quite good, because everyone thinks to be a teacher is a profession for women. To be a doctor is a profession for women. But who made this? Gender is a role defined by the society, which we want to change. Equality is that every woman has the right to be what she wants to be. Her role is not defined by her sex. That is what is gender equality. My mother didn't say that I cannot go across. I went to Delhi to study. I actually was chosen as in Bangkok, but my father said I cannot go to Bangkok to do my master's degree. That was his choice. And like this, the decision-making power, again, most of the time is taken by man in the household. A woman, a mother who has been not given that much importance always wants her daughter to go ahead, generally. But why is she not having the say? Because she is not the earning mother, or she doesn't have the financial potential to do what she wants. Decision making comes with financial independence. And in the field of agriculture, I have already talked about this. There are more than 75% women involved. Biggest profession involving women. But what is the role? More than 50% are just farm laborers. 25 are cultivators, they cultivate, but landowners are only 12.8%. We are not having gender bias, sir? Then what happened to the land that was, every family I don't think had only men and passed it down to men? Why did the land all end up with the men? Why didn't the women get the land? That is what we are talking about. Gender equality is a role. Women cook very well. So she has to cook at home. But go to the hotels, who will be cooking for you? Men. So how is this gender role being defined by the society? The main part is the thinking at home, which translates outside into the society. So we need to change this thought process. Anyone can do anything. We just need to empower them at a young age. If they say, I want to be a pilot, I wanted to be a pilot, but that time they were not choosing women to be a pilot. I wanted to be a fighter pilot. Even now I say, even now I can bomb any city if I want. I have the ability to do that because I drive really well. So why not? But that time women pilots were not allowed. So these were gender roles given at that. They said, no, a woman cannot take torture in the prison, if taken as a prisoner of war. She will tell the secrets. See the women in households, how much they are tortured by many husbands. Do they go and complain against them? They don't. They take so much and they still pray for their husband to change. So a woman has more strength. Just get waxing done in the beauty parlor. You will know how much torture a woman goes through to look beautiful. You know, they can take a lot of... So this is the thought process that I'm trying to change. Women can do, but let them do. So now the society is changing a lot, but still we have programs like WISE, which is Women in Science and Engineering. They are trying to promote women participation in science and engineering. Everyone's you do arts. That is the best field for you. Why not engineering? You know, I was selected in the best engineering college in Tamil Nadu, but I told my father, Anna University is the top. I joined there and I told him, no, I want to do agriculture engineering. I'm going to Coimbatore. He went to the dean and he said, tell my daughter, she's gone crazy. She wants to go and do agriculture engineering. Ask her to do engineering in Anna University. I said, no, I have chosen to do agriculture engineering because I have seen my grandmother in the field struggling. I want to do something for her. You know, and I have worked a lot with agricultural women, and I have seen when I call women people for training in power tiller operation and maintenance, all men arrive. I told them, where are your wives? Why haven't you brought them? You know to drive, and I'm sure if I give you a power tiller in 2 days, you will learn to drive it. But a woman, you will never give it to your wife to drive it. to operate it on the field. I told that they have to come here. I will give this training only for women. So I have gone to a lot of fields in Goa and given them training in use of power tillers, how to cultivate on the field using power tillers. Now women are coming forward, young girls are coming forward. See, there has to be a dignity of labor attached to that field. Then why are youth not going to agriculture? Because everyone puts it down. But you improve you give it a status, give mechanization, give good skill training. There will be people involved there also. So, as I say, gender equality will start from the home and it will translate to the society, and we have a long way still to go. And I hope one day Women's Day will stop being celebrated because all women have got the equality. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Okay, as I said at the start, I'm sure you'll have made some notes and you want to question each of the panelists here. So please raise your hand and we'll give you half a minute to ask the question and 3 minutes to answer the question. Yes, please.
My question is for Dr. Marianne Lobo. Ma'am, you spoke about changing narratives, and I was really interested in knowing what kind of narratives are still carried forward. Because, you know, my mother told me this thing wherein I hate going to the kitchen, like, just don't like it. And she said, if you don't cook, how will you feed your husband? I said, he will cook. And, you know, he does that. He does that now. I married a guy who can cook. But I know that doesn't happen for everyone. And what is the most common narrative that still continue even today? And how do you work around them?
I share your same predicament, actually, Vaishnavi. I married a man who can cook because I hate to cook. So, and also, I didn't want to get married for the longest time possible. So, well, it took him to come into my life. Anyway, coming back to changing narratives. And it's not easy because everywhere there are narratives going. The one narrative I had in medical college, which many of you all don't know. तुम्ही चली, तुमची शिकप जातले, शिकप झाल्यानंतर लग्न जातले, तुम्ही क्लिनिकान बसचे ना. Every time I was not well or I had something to keep me at home, I remembered this and I said, no, I dress up, I show up. You know, changing these things that the very fact. Today, many of them say, tu eklat samche classy nashille nahi, who would always say, no, you will not do that, and you have kept your word. I said, it's not that. Look at the others. Maybe they didn't get the opportunity. But yes, in this way, when we change, when a mother says, okay, the buck stops here, we are not taking this forward to the next generation. I think every woman has to pull up socks somewhere and say, fine, what happened, happened. Now let's change it. And I think that's why this initiative where I have started, where we are talking about changing mindsets. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy. We're going to face difficulties. Wakadi tona metli, log gungun tale. Okay, he accept kurchits pattali. I don't care. Okay, that has to be. Mashi kat rhinoceros sarki kurchi pattali. That's what I say. Okay, and coming back, but where it is like this, where a mother, at least to some aspect, where we're bringing up the children, if it's a boy and a girl in the house, or if they are both sons, get them up in the morning, change the bed sheet. Start it there. Make your bed. Help in making the breakfast. Okay? When you come back, change your clothes, put them in the wash basin. Okay? These simple things. Lan goshta. I'm not saying great stories. Like my cousins, both my cousins are blessed to have, one is blessed to have 5 kids, one is blessed to have 4 kids. They've done this. Okay? It's not difficult. So I don't start very far. I start in my family itself when I tell about changing narratives. So I have seen, it was first initially only one child, one son. 3 girls were there. Then, of course, the equation changed and the next boy was born. So he was the king for a while. But it didn't happen. She made him equally come and clean once a week, clean the table. Everyone had a share of doing things. So this way, small things. Again, when we are allowing them to choose careers, see that we give equal opportunities. As doctor said, you know, I wanted to be a doctor, but my father wanted me to study botany. My mother said, study. And study till as much you want to study. So I think there she put her foot down when she herself faced a lot. I may be bringing out family secrets, I don't care. She faced a lot in marriage. Okay? It was not easy for her. So, but she took a stand and she said, I want her to study. And she came to me and told me, even if you want to study further, go ahead and study. Because I know how my mother studied. She was born and brought up in Maharashtra, Kolhapuran, okay? And she studied in the night time, because in the daytime she would teach in a school. She started working when she was 16, 17, because financially they were not well off in Kolhapur. And they went through a lot of difficulties. So she would study in night college. Okay, that's how she studied. And she said, my daughters, because we're two sisters, will never face this, what I had to go through. So when I said I want to take up a part-time job, she said, no, you will study. And I think that itself, I had a good opportunity to, and I would really wish every woman, and if anyone is here having daughters, if you all can, I see some young girls, so I hope this narrative changes. And these are simple ways that we can do it.
I always give a few liberties. Okay, any other question? Anybody else has any question? Yes, Brother Prem, come on.
Since no man is coming forward, so we are in minority, so I go with what Edwin said. Now both Mr. Gupta and Neha said. One thing that has always been struggling to us is that we have been running technical institution for more than 25 years now. We have been trying very hard to get the girl children into the campus, which is very, very tough. We have been counseling, we are going to the schools and talking to the principals and the teachers. Please encourage girls to join technical training, but the percentage is very low. Now, where do we work on? Is it from the families or not? Yeah, the next one is that to Neha. So you have been all talked about legal things only, bias towards women. What about men? We are working in an environment where 60 to 70% are of women. So how do we protect ourselves in eventualities? Thank you.
I will share one small experience of my school life. When I was in school, we had a special class for needlework. Okay, we were taught to do crochet and embroidery and fix buttons. Okay, and even if you didn't like it, you had to do it because otherwise you would fail. And who wanted to fail anyways? Because you had to sit and do it all over again. But if you want more girls to come in a technical institute, okay, we need to change that needle class. We need to change it to, let's teach girls to change a light bulb or to fix a tap or how to connect two wires. If that is not changing, they are never going to come. Because our counterpart, a completely boys' school, were taught exactly that. They were given the screwdriver, they were given the pliers, they were given the wires, they were given the batteries, and they were allowed to play with it. And we were sitting there with crochet needles and thread and all the. And really, I mean, we lived in a joint family, and I would go home and struggle doing this, and my cousins who were boys would be happily, assisting in all of the other things. Here I also want to make a very pertinent note. Now, if as women, we are expecting men to come to the kitchen, please as women, please learn how to change your car tire. Please learn how to fix a bulb, learn how to do some basic plumbing. Because you can keep demanding equality from your spouse or the men around you. But if you're not going to put yourself forth to do the exact work that they're also doing and show that you're capable enough to do that, then what kind of equality is this? Okay, if you're going to say, oh, my car tire is flat, okay, big in your ani car, so tire change kar, apla kehna hai. But at the end of the day, you'll go home and say, why not helping me in the kitchen? So if you're going to have sustainable tomorrow, you also make yourself capable to do those gender equivalent work of men. That is paying bills, changing car tire, giving your car for maintenance, servicing oil change, plumbing, some electrical job, even the gas cylinder. You call me, na zaina, please yo ukal ani ghal ani la and all that. So we need to change that, and we need to change the school basics. Okay, that you don't need to have a needlework class. You please have the needlework class for boys also, and equivalent have a class where you're giving tools, the toolbox to girls and saying, see, this is a screwdriver. This is what you do with it, and and your dad is not going to come tomorrow and do this work for you, or your husband is not going to come tomorrow, do this work for you. I'm sorry about the legal part. The laws are women-centric because the narrative in our country has been such that women are, I can say this, women were the first slaves. They were. Okay, and it's not spoken about, but they were because they had no choice. So for our country who's going to go into like 70 plus years of independence, it was very necessary to change to have more women-centric laws because the larger part of the gender in our country who are discriminated against, unfortunately so, are women. So for men to protect themselves, it's a very simple thing. When I give a talk on prevention of sexual harassment at workplace, I always tell the employees that if you have been sexually harassed, please come up and say it. And as a man, if you've not done it, please stand up and fight for yourself. Don't bow down and say, asu controversies atli, apun kai manna, fati sorya and all. No, if you've not done it, please stand up for yourself and say, no, I have not done it, I'm going to fight this through. That's the simplest way out because otherwise it's a women-centric law. It's for women largely to protect women. So the only way, Flipkart CEO, Benny Bansal, he stepped down because a case of sexual harassment was filed against him by an employee. Now, he didn't fight at all, he just resigned. Later on, he got a private investigator who investigated the whole thing to reveal that he and the girl who had filed a sexual harassment case against him were having a consensual relationship. And he had actually done no sexual harassment. But he didn't fight it. And in the end, it was a big, like, what can you say, moral stain on him. So if you've not done it, please fight for yourself. And you have to stop needlework class in school. Thank you.
Anybody else has any thoughts? Yes, come sister, come.
I have a request to Dr. Juliet. You ended very well saying that we need to stop celebrating Women's Day, because it shows that something is lacking, you know. So often I feel maybe wrong, right, I don't know. Gender equality is blocked by women itself. I would like you to strongly speak to many women are sitting here, how we women religious, there's no man to stop or sustain, but women sometimes fail to uphold. Can you just say to everyone ways we can uphold women?
Well, as I said, the change has to happen from the home. Okay, my mother was strong, but there are many women who don't allow their daughter to go. Probably they are scared to let their daughters go because unfortunately there is insecurity when you step out. So that is the fault of the society, that there is insecurity. But make your daughter strong. You know, how many of you are putting her on self-defense classes? How many of you are even insisting that your daughter should be learning karate, kung fu? You see, those things also empower your daughter. And then she can go to do. I mean, sir was saying that people don't come for skill development. My father used to do scooter repairing at home and I used to assist him all the time. I knew the parts of the scooter by heart, every part for what it was, because I used to assist him at home. Well, I'm an engineer, sir, and I know even the parts of a tractor now. But I'm saying it's a mindset we have to change. It's not going to happen very soon. But I think, like sir was saying, it has to be a sensitization. You have to make them assured that if she becomes a pilot, रात में जाएगी तो कोई problem नहीं. There are other women around there. I remember on a Women's Day, Air India flight landed and they said this was a completely women manned flight. And one man was saying, my God, they didn't tell me before. And I was like, you landed safely, what's your problem? But I'm saying women are going out doing things. But still there are women who think that their daughter should be most of the posts, like why they are not going out. Even in my field, if you see scientists, there are 4 women scientists and 24 men. Out of the 24 scientists, there are only 4 women scientists in Goa. If you go across the country, we have 105 institutes, probably 2 have women directors. Women don't step out, they sacrifice. There has to be some change. Of course, we are biologically mothers. We have to produce children. The world has to go on, right? If we all say, I'm not going to have a child, then what's going to become to the society? But there are, and if you see the law, there is women, there is a child care leave given to women, not to men, no? Only if they're single fathers, they are given. Only to women 2 years, they're saying, very good, she's a lactating mother, but go abroad, they don't give any women. They are given rooms where they can remove the milk, store it, and they come and continue the career. But India, it's not yet there. So, okay, those 2 years nurturing a child, she loses, give her, there are certain schemes, but many people are not aware of that. There are schemes for women with break service. But why that break service? Don't let it be a break service. Give her that, okay, 2 years you lost, but still you can make up. She is doing a great service to the society by having a child. So there have to be, like in the career also, certain adaptation for women. And that is not like something because she's inferior, because she's a superior. God created her to be a child bearer. And so there are like women who don't want to have have children because they think they will lose out their time on their career. For 2 to 4 years, which they lose out having children, others in their same level have gone far ahead. So there is a lot of these kind of things that women have to sit together. Even in the politics, you see, there are not many women. And once, even our politicians didn't agree to give reservation for women. So it's everywhere, it's a battle. And till women battle for it, nothing will change. And women itself have given up. They're like, theek hai, chalta hai, what is there? They accept and compromise. So first we have to change that mindset. Empowerment has to come from within. Like she was saying, I don't like to cook, so I found a husband. But I'm sure she contributes to some other job that he was doing. You cannot just ask your husband to cook and not cook. She must be cutting vegetables, washing the dishes. Equality is not about giving up your duties. That is not what we are talking about. It is equally sharing our responsibilities in the society, in the home, everywhere. And that's where if we start, if nothing is against the ethics. People seem to think that gender equality means we are talking against ethics, we are talking about traditions, we are not talking against anything. We are just saying that women are growing. First, our sex ratio has to become 50-50. First thing. Second, when we take a profession, it has to be aptitude based. Do an aptitude test for a man or woman. If it's whatever, let them choose. And honing that aptitude from school. School education has to change. As she said, no crochet only for women. I never did my crochet. I used to give it to my mother. Please, you do it. I'm not going to do it. Thank you.
All right. I have a few suggestions, if I may. One is for you, Brother Prem. One suggestion is, instead of expecting the girls to come here and learn screwdrivers and hammers and spanners and all that, bring them here and show them what you are doing. And I'm sure you have that powerful, motivating voice. Tell them, this is also for you. Don't bring the boys, bring the girls here. And you will see there will be a difference. You see, girls have never seen a workshop. They don't even know it's a screwdriver. All right? So if you bring them here, that might solve the problem. I have one suggestion for you and counselors of your trade, of your teaching. You know very well that the new education policy is going to be launched from June this year. What is the new education policy? It's very simple. The new education policy is forget the rote method, get on to teaching them to think. How do they think if you don't push them? Who do you teach to think first? The parents. They are still in the 18th century. We have to get there first. Get your team of counselors to go to the parents, bring them here like this today, and teach them what it is available. They have never heard of online free classes by the government of India. They never heard of it. They never heard of IBM teaching for free, Harvard University teaching for free. Why not? One of the wonderful things the current state central government has done is upskill and reskill. If we can get all our students and parents to take up at least one program in a whole year, they have learned something. And it is free. From Harvard, IBM, Google, you name it, they're all free. So why not? Why not get our girls to take up these courses and put it on their CV and say, hey, I have not only done my 12th in arts, but I have also done my computers, I've done this, I've done that, I've done that, I've done that. Wow. I, as an HR person, would be very impressed with a person who got that dynamism to tell me, that okay, I did my art because my grandfather pushed me, but I also have done this on my own. That is what is going to change the sustainability for the future, not this business of, I admire this young lady. From a village, a PhD. How many stories have you heard of villages coming with a PhD, that also a young lady? I'll tell you one beautiful story. You all must have heard of Indra Nogi. Who is she? She is the CEO, or was the CEO of Pepsi International. You know, once there was, Prime Minister Morarji Desai went there for an official meeting in the States. At that time, Obama was also the president, and Mr. Manmohan Singh was the prime minister. So all the big executives were invited for a meeting at the White House. One of them was Indra Nogi. So as soon as the prime minister saw Indra Nogi, oh, she's my daughter. And what do you think Mr. Obama said? She's my daughter too. You see, the value of a person saying that one word, she lifted her up right up there, but lifted all the women in the world. My daughter too. So these are the kind of stories you must tell our girls, the young girls, 18 years old, 15 years old. Counselors, you've got a huge responsibility. And since you're starting this counseling course, I'm very happy to hear that. Please make full advantage of it. The mindset, as Dr. rightly said, has to change. You have rightly said it. It has to change. If the mindset doesn't change, forget about this century. Next century also will be the same. So I thank you for giving us this opportunity to, I thank the panelists. Thank you very much for your contribution. And all the staff members and Dr. Brother Prem, thank you so much. And I wish all the ladies here, God blessings, and especially mothers, push yourself first, then your kids. Don't push the kids, first push yourself. Take at least one free online course and you will see the difference. God bless you.
Well, I'm sure this panel discussion has brought forth very interesting views and points that many of us are going to take back and try to use it in our day-to-day lives. As a token of appreciation, we would like to present mementos to our dear panelists. I request the VAYAM team members to kindly come forward. First, I request Ms. Aisha Pereira to present a memento to Dr. Matala Juliet Gupta. I request our team member, Mr. Nickton Dias, to kindly come forward. Kindly present a memento to Dr. Mary Ann Lobo. I request now Ms. Vaishnavi Hegde Agranai to kindly present a memento to Mr. Edwin Gomes. I request Ms. Janessa De Mello to kindly come forward and present a memento to Advocate Neha Anil Shirodkar. And well, how can we forget our dear and wonderful moderator, Mr. Basil Dikuna? I request Brother Prem to kindly come forward and present a memento to Sir. Thank you, dear panelists. I would request you to kindly take your seat among the audience. We move on to the next part of our program. This evening, we would be honoring men and women in society. Be it a man or a woman, they are the cornerstones of our community who work tirelessly and make countless differences in the lives of people around them. And it is a privilege to have amidst us such men and women who have contributed to the society in a large way. To honor these people, I would request our chief guest, Mrs. Kairu Kavde, and Brother Prem, Director and Principal of Montfort Academy, to kindly come up on stage. First, I would like to invite on stage Advocate Lucia Fatima Fernandez. As an advocate, she has been offering independent support Advocate Lucia Fatima has been... Ma'am, I would request you to say a few words, please. Well, ma'am has been offering independent support and has always ensured that people are heard and they do get the right kind of respect in society. Ma'am, just a few words.
A lot of things are said today, so I don't need to say anything else. So let us all go home, appreciate all the women in our life, and acknowledge their worth. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The next person we'll be honoring is Sister Selvi FMM. Sister, could you please come up? As a healthcare professional, she has played a central and critical role in empowering, assess, and quality health care during COVID outbreak. I request Sister Cecil, if you could please come up and speak on behalf of Sister.
I'm so happy to be here on this day, Women's Day celebration, to hear beautiful women speaking nice things. And I'm happy that she asked to speak because I thought I missed when I raised her to speak. In our health setting, women come for admission. We ask them, you want general ward or the private? They ask my husband. Okay. Then when the boy baby is born, it's ward. If a girl baby is born, it's, when a girl baby is born, it's in the ward. Boy baby, private room, and lot of excitement. And if 2 cesarean over, if we ask, tuberculomy is supposed to be done, so difficult, is it? We ask, they say, ask my husband. I tell them, Are, you are going to carry it, struggle it, or the sister-in-law who decides. So I feel we as women have to assert our rights, our freedom, our privileges. It's time that often we don't do that and we keep blaming men or other women. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Cecil. Thank you, Sister. Well, entrepreneurs are also very important and they think creatively and ensure that society progresses. And we have one such entrepreneur, Mrs. Lakshmi Saraf. Ma'am, could you please come up on stage?
As an entrepreneur, I'm just not the one. I have a team behind me. And those ladies also I would like to share this award with. अब जरा आ जाएंगे चारों जन मेरे साथ अवार्ड लेने के लिए आ जाइए. That's Goody, Suna, Lovely, and Sunita.
Well, this truly was inspiring, and like we said, empowered women empower women. Okay, moving on, I would now request Mrs. Maria Filomena Natalia Pereira, an inspiring homemaker, to kindly come up on stage. Homemakers are very, very important, and they definitely are like managers of the house. Ma'am, we would really like to hear a few words from you. Ma'am, would you like to share a few words?
I'm so खुशाल कित्याक वुमन्स डे हो तांकां घडोवन हाडला म्हणून आनी हांव चड खुशाल आनी हांव चड सांगला सगल्यांक तुमकां सांगलां आसता. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, the youth of today have a role to renew and refresh the current society. And definitely the youth play an important role in leadership and innovations. And we have with us a very young person and a very important person, and her name is Miss Richa Lavu Govekar. Could you please come up on stage? Well, Richa is the first female pilot of Goa. Richa, we can't let you go. You have to say a few words.
First of all, I would like to thank Montfort Academy and their whole team for inviting me here and for giving me this honor. Thank you so much. There's one quote in Sanskrit which goes like Yad bhavo tad bhavati, which means you become what you believe. So whatever our goal is, if we have a strong wish to achieve something, then however hard that step is, it's possible. So just believe in yourself and go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Richa. And going with the theme, gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow, we have a very special person that we would like to honor. His name is Mr. Umakant Chaudhary. Mr. Umakant Chaudhary is a proprietor of Dress Up Laundry, and through his business venture, he has ensured and contributed to women empowerment. Sir, could you please come up on stage?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My wife is here, who is a very inspiration to me. So I'd like to call her to receive this award. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, a very special thank you to Mrs. Kairu Kaute for being here with us this evening. And as a token of our gratitude, I request Brother Prem to kindly present a memento to ma'am. Thank you. Yes, sure.
Since everybody spoke, I'll just add, when I became a life insurance agent 29 years ago, that time somebody from my in-laws said that, nobody will buy a policy from you because you're a woman. And in my mind, I wanted to prove them wrong. So in the first 5 months, I sold 165 policies. I was declared a crorepati. My name came in all the Navin Times newspapers, and I was like, yes. So, when somebody says to a woman, you can't do it, you go out and you do it right. And last 29 years, I've been doing it right. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. As we've heard truly inspiring words from all the guests and dignitaries, we cannot let our pillar of strength, Brother Prem Sagar, go just easily. So, Brother Prem Sagar, I would request you to just say a few words.
So, very good evening to one and all. Actually, I prepared some script to speak, but I'm speechless now because it is gender equality, the amount of knowledge, expertise has come from the panel members. The award is something really amazing. We never thought this event will have such an intellectual sharing, and there's a lot of experience that we need to carry forward and make sure that we try to implement this one in a society from today. It's not that Women's Day we are celebrating this year. We have been celebrating for the years together. Somewhere every year you do little by little, there is a change surely going to happen. So I strongly believe in that. I'm very happy with the chief guest and the panel members and the awardees and excellent contributors to the society to create a better and sustainable society. My deepest gratitude to all of them. Within a very short span of notice, they have agreed, and all the way Sunday, they have here and shared their knowledge and expertise. I'm indebted to all the invitees, special invitees from the Kurlim and different parts of Goa for being here and making this event a very memorable one. Let's continue to make a difference wherever we are and trying to bring this equality which we are going to start at Montfort Academy. We have been here for more than 2 decades. We have been trying to venture into a new innovative methods where, as Basil said, let's bring more girls into the technical education so that we can change the narrative. We are ready to change the narrative in the institute. It is up to the families and the mothers and fathers, see how you can help the girl children to come and do the technical education. Once again, thank you one and all for accepting our invitation. We are indebted to you and we continue to collaborate with you in the future. And I'm very happy with the whole VAYAM team. If you see all our women, except we are 2 of us, one more Nickton, the rest all being dominated by women. But to be honest, the amount of work that is being done as a team is amazing. And they have their own personal professions. In spite of all that, they're trying to do something for a philanthropical cause. They want to give back to the society other than their regular job. That is something that is very amazing, and I'm very happy that I have such a dedicated team with me. We are able to do something great, whatever that is within our capacity. Thank you one and all. God bless.
Thank you, brother. I would call upon our VAYAM team member, Ms. Aisha Pereira, to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Tanya. A very good evening to one and all present here. It gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of Team VAYAM of the Montfort Academy, Goa. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to our chief guest, Mrs. Kairu County, for taking time out to grace this occasion and inspiring us with the pearls of wisdom. Thank you, ma'am. We are grateful to all the panelists for their valuable time and presence and for so beautifully illuminating our minds on the topic gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. A special thank you to Mr. Basil Decuna for his time and patience in moderating the panel discussion. A big thank you to our very own counselor, Mrs. Vaishnavi Hegde, for eloquently simplifying the power of our mind and making us understand the importance of taking care of it to help us lead happier lives. A heartfelt thanks to all our awardees. You are our role models, and there can be no force more powerful than you, as you represent a determination to rise and succeed. Our deep sense of appreciation to Mr. Robin and his entire CCR TV team for evincing interest in providing media coverage to this event. I would also like to thank Mr. Diptesh for capturing this event through photography. We are indebted to Brother Prem Sagar, the management and teaching and non-teaching staff of Montfort Academy for their continuous support and believing in us to do our best in the field of counseling and mental health awareness. We are ever grateful to all our special invitees, the Parish Pastoral Council members, sisters, parents, students, and well-wishers for their kindness, encouragement, and cooperation always. Last but not the least, my sincere gratitude to all the team members of VAYAM under the stewardship of Brother Prem for meticulously organizing this event. I thank each one of them for their vision, hard work, and commitment in planning this special day. Thank you once again to everyone present here. Your attention, your time, and support has made the difference in making this function a memorable and a resounding success. Thank you.